All right, y'all. What is good, y'all? Come on in here. Come on in here. We got a lot to cover today, y'all. I'm not gonna be moving around a lot with this content. We're gonna actually just focus on Nate Fresman's channel, y'all. If y'all want to like, comment, subscribe to him, his name is literally on here. Okay, the Nate Freeman Show, y'all. It says Trump was right about Ukraine. Ukraine. I asked Ukrainians. So he went on an actual little tour of asking Ukrainians because a few days ago, Zelensky after around and found out, I'm gonna keep saying that, and he got kicked up out the White House because he came in there trying to demand some stuff, beg and cry and all this other type of stuff, and came at my boy JD Vance and Trump wrong. They was like, "Oh no, hell no, you got to get the hell up out of here, and you can come back when you got some sense, okay?" And he been out. And since then, y'all, getting deals through other people who believes in the fuckery of keeping this war going. Meanwhile, Trump and them is like, we want to ceasefire, we want peace and all that. And I agree with them. That's what we want. We don't want no more lives taken, no more souls gone, y'all, due to manpower, trying to have just manpower control it. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of the situation, it needs to end. Okay. So, anywho, now we diving into my boy Nate. He finna give you a breakdown. He went around and asked Ukrainians who actually are staying here in the United States of America, what their thoughts was on the Oval with Zelensky. And so we finna get that, y'all. Let's get into it. Then we're gonna chop it up towards the end.
All right, so I genuinely believe that this meeting between Trump and Zelensky will go down as one of the most consequential meetings in political history. I think it changed everything. Now, I believe that Trump was playing a much deeper game. However, I don't want to live in a bubble, so I got to thinking, what do Russians and Ukrainians who live in America think about that meeting? So I went to Brighton Beach, which is home to the most amount of Russians and Ukrainians living in America, to get some responses. And, well, it did not go how I expected. I'm going to be responding to each of their responses, so stay tuned for that, and let's do this.
Where are you
Get into
from?
it.
Ukraine.
Ukraine?
Yeah.
Are you visiting or do you live here now?
Like lived 3 years.
3 years?
Yeah.
Okay. What did you think of the meeting between Trump and Zelensky?
He just like started raising his voice, and I think he should like support Ukraine and give some help, because if like he's not gonna support it, he's gonna take over Ukraine and go further to take over the Europe. And
And is that because of something that Putin said or just a feeling that you have?
I have like feeling.
Now, I'm sure you hear this a lot, right? That if Putin gets control of Ukraine, that he's going to go on and take control of more countries in Europe and maybe even world domination. But just as this Ukrainian guy said, it's a feeling, it's a hunch that he has. Now, if we compare that to Hitler, who made it very clear before he invaded a single country, made it known many times that he wanted world domination. His intentions were so clear such that 10 years before he even took power, he wrote out that the nationalization of our masses will succeed only when, aside from all the positive struggle for the soul of our people, their international poisoners are exterminated. He wanted everyone who was not an Aryan German to die. He wanted to kill them. Now, there is no record of Putin saying anything remotely like that. This is not a defense of Putin. It is to say that simply there are the facts, and Putin hasn't said anything like that. Now, Putin has expressed some grievances about losing the former Soviet Union, but him wanting to conquer Europe, I don't know about that. Now, Israel's enemies, however, have made it very clear that they want a world without any Christians or Jews. So giving Israel money to fight those people makes a lot more sense, and more on that later.
Do you believe that Ukraine can win the war?
I think yeah, they have a lot of power, and if America is still gonna support.
I just know I've seen videos of Zelensky. He's taking 60-year-old
the one.
men who are
That's
walking their
sad.
dogs, and he's putting them in a car and sending them to the front line.
That's the one I seen, and I didn't know that man was 60, y'all. 60. Oh, that is so sad. It looked like he was walking on his way home with his dog. And the fact that they took that man and he was screaming at the top of his lungs, and the poor dog was just trying to follow his owner, y'all. They took that man and left that dog by itself, which was so sad, because that dog the whole time was just trying to be with his owner. It is so sad. And the way that man screamed is just like traumatizing, y'all. For real, for real. Oh my God, it's sad watching them videos that they forcing these people on the front line, the citizens. Crazy work.
And I've also seen people with Down syndrome on the front
Look at
line.
it.
It seems like they have some manpower issues. Do you feel that same feeling as well?
Uh,
Yeah. Because I know that there's not many people left to
Says somebody who's not even down there during the wartime, but in the United States of America. Okay.
fight there.
Yeah,
You know?
there's a lot of people died in the war.
Yeah. So do you think that even after money, do you think United States should send in troops as well? Would you like to see us send troops into Ukraine?
If possible, yes.
You would like to see that?
Would
Yeah.
you like
And
to
same
go?
goes for UK and those other countries as well.
Yes.
Well, there you have it. All right. So this kid who left Ukraine is now telling
Right. Would you like to go? Because we definitely don't want to see our daughters and sons going and fighting a war that ain't got nothing to do with us. Would you like to go? Hell.
us that we should go and fight his war.
Dang.
I almost didn't ask that question because I thought it was ridiculous. So
Right.
ridiculous to ask that. But hearing how badly people want us to support Ukraine, I thought maybe there is a limit. So let's try and find it. I was still shocked to hear that. And I think Trump knows that this is a common Ukrainian position, whereas I certainly didn't. I thought people want to give them money, but troops on the ground? That's World War III. So when Trump said to Zelensky that you were gambling with World War III,
You're gambling with World War III.
now we see just how real that statement is.
Let's say Putin keeps the territories and the fighting stops. Would you be interested in that or no?
But like Ukrainian people will not accept this because like he took the territories and like
Okay,
there's
so-
people like there's still people who live there, Ukrainian people. They're like trying to make people like to be Russian passports and stuff.
Not willing to do a ceasefire at the current position is a pretty wild thing to say from someone who left his country during a war.
Facts.
His countrymen are literally dying while he's at the beach. And we know that the death counts are not
Facts.
being reported correctly, but I'm sure you've been following along and it's clear that this is not going well for Ukraine. So to just not be willing to stop the fighting is not what I expected when I came to Brighton. But very importantly, it gives context to why Trump is playing this game. He's taking away the checkbook and saying, we're not funding this unwinnable war. You can come back when you're ready to talk peace. And you can see through this interview why that was something that he had to say, because clearly for many Ukrainians, peace is not the first priority.
What they
I
want.
think Zelensky is very unskilled professionally as a diplomat. Whether or not you like Trump, he was laying out America's position, which is we don't think you're going to win the war. I think it's been demonstrated you can't win. So what's the point of continuing for the next 40 years endlessly to fight when you're not going to win anything? Just so you can be the movie hero? You know, that's his take. Zelensky's take is we were invaded and by an evil man, and Trump saying it's not my job to say whether he's evil or not. It's my job to strike a deal. Trump actually, I think, was the grown-up in the room that day. Whether or not you agree with his policies may be wrong if you don't agree with them. But in terms of behavior, Zelensky has to know, A, you don't show up at a meeting dressed in a T-shirt just to show how cool you are.
Come on.
Or, hey, I just came off the battlefield. No, you show up in a jacket and ties.
Common sense, people. Common sense right here. Facts. You already knew what type of a mess he was on when he showed up like that there meeting the president of the United States. Bimbo.
President of the United States. I think Zelensky, just on a PR level, is a child.
Yeah.
I could not agree more with what this man is saying.
Yep.
Now, I watched a lot of World War II documentaries, and something that I always think about is when Winston Churchill's country was being bombed mercilessly, he always had a suit on. Okay, so watching that meeting, I found Zelensky to be unbelievably disrespectful, beyond the clothes thing. We've given him hundreds of billions of dollars, and more than anything, he non-stop interrupted our president. When the president of the United States is speaking, you don't interrupt, okay? I don't
Facts.
care who it is.
Come
Biden,
on.
Obama, it doesn't matter. You respect the office no matter what. Now, to top it all off, Zelensky called Vance a f***ing bitch under his breath, as if it wouldn't be picked up.
I have been to.
Then come once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring people.
Now, Zelensky is cocky because in the past,
Crazy.
he could waltz right in, get his billions, and be home by dinner. But this is a whole different administration.
Facts.
And to be quite honest, this picture that you see right now, that picture is what an overwhelming percentage of the United States voted for. Next up, I ran into this woman from Ukraine and asked her if she thought Zelensky did a good job in the meeting.
Он выглядел как идиот. Что он ходит как в домашнем костюме. В 2008 году Зеленский был капитаном этой команды. К нему подошел ведущий и задал ему вопрос. Что он любит больше всего на свете. И он ответил: я больше всего на свете люблю путешествовать. Поэтому Зеленский едет по всему свету с протянутой рукой и путешествует. Все.
Yeah, Zelensky kind of did just go on the world's most successful fundraising tour. I mean, he's not even done yet, actually. If you see, he's been thanking every single world leader that isn't Trump. Now, this woman is about to share who she really believes started this war. This part of history, I have to preface this part of history is highly disputed, with both pro-Russian and pro-Ukrainian perspectives shaping the narrative. It's why many people from the former Soviet Union don't see Russia as the sole aggressor in 2022, because in 2014, violent clashes erupted between pro-Ukrainian and pro-Russian protesters in Odessa. And then something terrible happened, and the dispute is which side was really responsible.
Do you want Putin to get control of Odessa or no?
Я не хочу ни то, ни другого. Потому что национализм был всегда. Просто здесь они уже, многие умные люди, увидели, что ужас. Вот с чего началась война. В Одессе был дом профсоюзов. Этот дом профсоюзов сожгли. Причем сожгли заживо со всеми.
Я видел.
Тех, кто вылетал через окна, их добивали на земле. У меня там погибло.
And the last thing she tells me is a reason that she's actually happy that Putin invaded her home city. And it has to do with Biden's son.
Байдена. И привез туда 4 лаборатории химические.
В Одессе.
Да. Значит, вот что сделал Путин. И за это я его уважаю. Он разгромил эти... Он их разгромил и сказал: вот я вам рассказала.
Whether or not you call those stories facts, enough people do. Enough people see this war not as an unprovoked one. NATO has been consistently expanding its borders closer and closer to Russia since the Cold War. Russia saw Zelensky try to join NATO before the war, and Biden in 2021 urging NATO to let Ukraine in. That would be like if Mexico wanted to form an alliance with China and start building nukes on our border. Do you think that the United States would simply allow that to happen,
No.
even if our country was ran by a skeleton?
Wow.
Now, of course, Putin's invasion was a violation of international law, yes, but was it unprovoked?
You was funny.
Absolutely not. You see, Trump understands that, and that changes the game completely. We are no longer offering our unconditional support to a blameless victim. Trump has thanked the Russians many times for their integral role in beating the Nazis. He says good things about Russia, and that allows us to actually have respect from Russia. Before, they didn't respect us at all. Do you think it's a coincidence that Putin invaded territory under every other US president besides Trump? How can you call yourself anti-war and not at the very least appreciate that Trump was the only president capable of such deterrence? Now, when Zelensky told Trump this,
during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God
The
bless.
threat.
You don't know that.
God bless.
You don't
God
know. The
bless.
threat.
You will not
You
have
gotta-
a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you. I'm
Trump's response there saying don't tell us what to feel is a clear indication that he is not afraid to go to Putin later and cut a deal on this catastrophe. So this is our last interview coming up, and it's maybe even the most shocking because this is yet again another man who believes that we should be sending American troops to Ukraine.
What did you think of the meeting between Trump and Zelensky?
Well, it was a big disappointment. It's another betrayal
of an ally.
You think that we should keep giving Ukraine billions of dollars?
Of course,
Right? Okay.
of course. We like with everybody else, like with Israel, like with Egypt, like with every other ally. If we disengage, there are plenty of forces in the world. No, I was a soldier back in Israel.
Oh, you were in the
yes,
idea.
yes. I know it. I evacuated Gaza in 1994.
So go on, go back and go fight then. Go on back and go fight. Go on, bring your tail right on back and go fight.
Okay. I mean, it's not winnable at all. It's not. It's impossible to win. It's gonna drag forever.
Us giving money to Israel directly affects our interests because the people Israel are fighting against want Americans off the map. Israel also pays for their weapons, unlike Ukraine.
Think about this mineral deal. It looks very much like plundering. Who owes whom money? It's the fact that Ukrainian elites were trading with their own country doesn't mean, the people have to suffer. They are still doing American bidding.
Speaking about Ukrainian elites, so Zelensky is saying that he can't account for like $100 billion. He doesn't know where it is, do you think that there's widespread corruption in Ukraine?
No. I think it's a misunderstanding what he said. What he said is that the numbers are inaccurate that Trump provided. It's much more than the actual thing. And it's true.
So us trying to get our $100 billion back with a rare mineral deal is plundering? It's honestly shocking to hear. Also, Ukraine isn't corrupt. Ukraine is consistently listed as one of the most corrupt countries in the world, losing out to Algeria, where I don't even know where they would even start to look at corruption in Algeria. The guy looking for corruption in Algeria is probably corrupt.
We have to have boots on the ground.
From the United States?
Absolutely.
No.
If Trump wasn't president, maybe we would have put troops on the ground by now. But on November 5th, this country made it very clear that it wanted no part of that war. Now guys, the video on your screen is an episode of the Nate Friedman Show, and it's very dear to me. Check it out. We went to the most dangerous part of New York and asked if after 30 years of voting for Democrats, if you might want to change. Their responses are not something you're going to want to miss. I'll see you there.
So y'all got to make sure that y'all go ahead and check him out, y'all. That is the Nate Friedman Show, y'all. Very good, very informative. I actually like what I've seen now, as y'all can see what their thoughts are. Some of them are definitely rolling with Trump, and some are like, put our troops on the ground. Like, no. Y'all put your own troops on the ground, baby, because we're done. Again, this ain't something we asked for, okay? We just now finding out that our tax dollars was going over there. Well, we knew that our tax dollars was going over there, but we hadn't had no idea, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, wait, what? Biden put us in this mess, okay? We didn't ask to be in this mess. If y'all came and asked us personally, we'd be like, hell no, we ain't funding this crap. Straight up. Okay. I'm just letting it be known. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in, kicking with your girl. Y'all come on in the comment section. Let's talk. Let's chat it up. What are y'all thoughts? Because clearly some people say that our American troops need to be having boots on the ground. They need to go out there and fight, and that we should be still funding a war that we know these folks is not about to win. I want to know y'all thoughts. Let's chop it up in the comment section, y'all. I'm up out of here.